We are here on the banks of the beautiful American River outside of Sacramento, and joining me is Dr. Andrea Willey. Dr. Willey, you founded the Waterbird Habitat Project. Talk to us about what that is and what you're doing out here.
Well, thank you so much, and thanks for coming out to bring attention and awareness to what we're doing. So the Waterbird Habitat Project aims to raise awareness for fishing gear injuries in waterbirds and beavers and other wildlife along the river, and we partner with anglers and communities alike to retrieve fishing gear from the shores and the depths of the river, and to raise awareness and to promote stewardship of the ecosystem here.
That's incredible. Those of us who fish, who occasionally get a snag and then have to cut the line, don't necessarily realize the potential impacts that has. Can you talk about why you're doing this work?
Right, so we got started doing this work after we witnessed a great blue heron hang from a tree after swallowing fishing gear. So, and then when we went back to look at to see if there were fishing gear, we found hundreds and now thousands of hooks, lures, and reels of line that were both on the shores and in the trees where there's casting near trees and below the surface. The majority of it is below the surface.
Wow. And I mean, you're spending hundreds of hours along the American River every year, meeting fishermen, explaining to them what they can do, how they can protect and restore this environment. We actually met through a mutual friend who fishes on the river. What's been the reception of those who are angling out here?
Yeah, it's been absolutely amazing. The anglers have welcomed our program, and they're really glad to meet me and to see what I'm doing, and they want to participate. So I give them all a little card, and if they get a snag that they are not able to retrieve, they will message me and I can go out and get their snag for them. But they also join us in our cleanups. We have magnet fishing events where we pull gear from the bottom. We do diving events where the anglers and the community members and our volunteers will dive into the depths of the river and clean out gear, and they've been a huge part of our success.
That is so cool. You know, so many of us across California and really the world love nature, right? This is our home. And a lot of people see all of these impacts to nature. What inspires me about your story is you took matters into your own hands. You are a surgeon, you have a whole nother career, but you founded this organization just based on this problem you're seeing and the passion that you have. What advice would you have to others that might not be as active as you on challenges like this?
Oh, well, that's a good question. You know, I think it just comes from seeing that there was a problem that was there that people, first of all, weren't aware of. And so I realized that, and once I realized that people just needed to know about it, and then they needed some ways to figure out how we could solve it. And so we've just tried to come up with some solutions, and it's been very successful so far.
I am so inspired by you and the work of this project. You know, at our agency, we talk about our mission as helping people and nature thrive together. That there is so much that we can do to protect nature in our backyard, and it benefits all of the life that we share our home with and the planet. So huge thanks for all you're doing. I'm excited to share the work with others so that they can support the Waterbird Habitat Project and hopefully do something like this in their own neck of the woods.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And we invite everyone to check out our website, waterbirdhabitat.org, and to join us with our campaign to take 5 and keep the ecosystem alive, where we encourage anglers and the community members to take 5 minutes to pick up gear while they're out and keep the waterbirds and the other wildlife thriving.
Amazing. So check out this website, check out this organization, and get involved if you can, if you're in this area. And if you're in another place with other challenges, take it upon yourself. Be the leader that Andrea is towards restoring this beautiful place we call Earth. It's incredible. So I grew up fishing, and you get an occasional snag that you have to cut, but I think a lot of us don't realize the impact that can have on waterbirds and the wildlife out here. Can you share with us what those impacts are?
Sure. So anytime that you have angling in the setting of wildlife or waterbirds, then that poses a risk for entanglements and ingestion of gear. And a lot of times anglers are not even aware that this is happening.
Yeah.
And so the birds leave the area while they're fishing, and they're hungry, so they need to come back. And when the fisherman leaves, the bird comes right back. But if there's gear left behind, either on the shore or on a branch in a tree or below the surface, then the water birds and other water mammals can get injured and often die.
Incredible, and I love your approach. It's not about not fishing, it's about educating the anglers so that they can fish, which is of course important for a lot of people, but do it in a way that's not hurting the other wildlife. At our agency, we talk about people and nature thriving together, and you are an incredible example of that. Somebody who saw a problem and took it upon herself to do something about it. And now it's really sparking a movement along the American River to ensure that, yes, this is a great place to recreate and to fish, but it's also a great place for our water birds and really all manner of life that we share this home with. I am so inspired by all that you're doing and hope to support your work in whatever way we can.
We try to search for more permanent solutions to prevent snags when we can. So we've done a couple of really cool projects this summer. One of the things we did, there's a tree under the water at Turtle Pond, and it's a place where anglers really love to fish, and you can't remove the tree from the pond. So we partnered with county parks, and we actually planted some willow trees in front of the area where they get snags. So it would just divert them to cast a little farther upstream where they won't get snagged. And probably one of our biggest projects has been the removal of over 40 dump trucks worth of aqueous primrose from around the fishing deck at William Pond. And we started out with a few teams of volunteers, and we got over 9,000 pounds out, removing it manually.
These are water plants that then can snag that hook and then leave stuff in the pond?
Correct. And they have overgrown the pond, actually, and they've around the fishing deck, and no one really knew how to solve the problem because it really has overgrown. So I just went out there one day and stood on my paddleboard and just started manually pulling it up to show that we could do this. And so we came back with a team of volunteers. We manually removed 9,000 pounds of primrose.
Wow.
And then once I realized this was a really big endeavor, we needed more help. So we partnered with the California Conservation Corps, and their amazing team spent the entire month of June out there, and they removed 40 dump trucks full of primrose. And the pond, the fishing deck at the pond is completely cleared now.
Wow.
And it's really amazing. The fishermen love it. They now have access to the pond, and it's an ongoing effort. The CCC goes out and they're continuing to remove the plant until it's clear.
That's incredible. So your organization is both responding to the challenge, even like a specific snag that a fisherman is telling you about, to taking more broad, long-lasting solutions like removing these invasive species.
Yes.
Just incredible.
Yeah.
Well, keep up the great work.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you.
Amidst so many environmental challenges, hope breeds action. And when we see people like Dr. Willey taking action, it generates hope, and it generates more action across our state and the world. So huge thanks for everything that you do.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks.